Hey everyone, so I'm just going to talk a little bit on missing vulnerable woman Nancy Guthrie, who is 84 years old and was last seen on the evening of the 31st of January 2026. She was reported missing after she failed to attend church on Sunday, and it is really quite unknown in regards to what has happened to Nancy. Now, Nancy Guthrie is the mother of Savannah Guthrie, who is very well known in America. She reports on stories and is on Today Show, and obviously is quite clearly distressed and heartbroken, and has put out a plea for her safe return. Now, from what we are hearing in the last couple of days, her home has been treated as a crime scene, which shows that Nancy does look like she has been abducted from her bed. She is in desperate need of heart medication and other medications as well. She has a pacemaker. Obviously, her watch and phone were both found at home, so the pacemaker is not connected to either, for obvious reasons, as it's not there. Now, the police are doing as much as they possibly can to bring Nancy home safe and well. There is reports of blood being found outside Nancy's home. However, law enforcement have suggested that this may have been from a nosebleed as opposed to it being Nancy's. There is signs of obviously forced entry in regards to this. Now, from what we are hearing from reports from an Arizona news station as well as TMZ, that there has been a couple of ransom notes that have been received. Now, TMZ were quick to report on that instead of going to the police, which makes me question even more of their journalistic integrity in regards to reporting anything on this, as you would have expected for anything that is evidence or any leads at all, that this would have been straight to Pima County Sheriff's Department and they would have got in contact with the police immediately. It sounds like it's potentially a ransom case, but again, we don't know. And the police are staying, rightfully so, tight-lipped in regards to this. With any active and ongoing investigation, when it does surround a missing person or any type of case whatsoever, it is within the law enforcement's rights to be able to keep a lot of information from the public, because it could create such huge damage to the case. Something that TMZ and another journalist who used to be quite mainstream and has now decided to do podcasts on true crime had put out a narrative of the fact that it was Savannah's brother-in-law that had something to do with this, that he was a person of interest, etc. Now, however, my county sheriff's department had put out this statement today. Clearly, as you can read right here, at this point, investigators have not identified a suspect or person of interest in this case. Detectives continue to speak to anyone who may have had contact with Mrs. Guthrie. Detectives are working closely with the Guthrie family. While we appreciate the public's concern, the sharing of unverified accusations or false information is irresponsible and does not assist the investigation. No suspect or person of interest has been identified at this time. So, huge takeaway in regards to this. I know how much that people want to be that first person to break the news in regards to a lot of information that is getting out there, especially when a video or videos can get you a considerable amount of traction to your platform. It is just a reminder for those people that are pushing that out there, where all we know this could be incredibly harmful to any ongoing investigation. This was unverified. This was initially started with TMZ putting the rumour out there about a car being impounded, naming a person, etc. And then said journalist that does the true crime podcasts on YouTube and on here had been pushing the same narrative, and I have seen so many content creators that ones that don't even cover true crime or missing people either, putting this out there as breaking factual news. I question, like I said, the journalistic integrity of TMZ has for the longest time been down the pan with me. I think that their source of information most of the time it comes from rumours, and to put out to the public of a ransom note as opposed to getting in contact with the police first is pretty damn disgusting. And that goes for the other journalist that is putting out specific information out there as fact. Unless it comes from the police at this stage, I think that people have to be incredibly careful what you're putting out there for public consumption. Just because you think that you know something, unless it's verified from law enforcement, is potentially something to actually keep to yourself, as you don't know if the information you're putting out there can actually be detrimental to any type of investigating that law enforcement is actually doing. Let law enforcement do their job. The focus of the attention at this site should be in regards to Nancy Guthrie and wanting this woman to be home with her family safe and well. This should be what it should all be about. It should not be about conspiracy theories or rumours. Remember, conspiracy theories can be incredibly harmful to absolutely anything. If it is a rumour, it is just that, it's hearsay. You don't know this as fact, don't put it out there. You know, we have, as human beings, we have to have a sense of morals for the information that is getting put out there. And just think about it for a second. Imagine this was your mum, your granny or something, and somebody was on the record, like TMZ, like that other journalist, like those other content creators that are putting this out there as fact, as breaking news. Imagine what you would be thinking watching these people putting out this information. And for all we know, maybe perhaps it is true that they could be, but given the fact that that statement that's actually been put out there for law enforcement tells me that it's not been verified. So just please take that into consideration before you do actually put up a post. I have said this a million one times on old accounts that I used to have. You have to be careful what you're putting out there on the internet. Remember, facts over fiction and truth over conspiracies, always. If it's a rumour, look it up, research it first before you put it out there for the world to see. Pima County Sheriff's Department are not doing a press conference today unless any relevant information or news does come forward. Their next press conference will be tomorrow, which is Thursday. And yes, the FBI are involved in regards to this, which is incredibly understandable considering the high profileness of Nancy's daughter, Savannah Guthrie. Always the main hope and out there that the person that has Nancy does come forward with Nancy and she is reunited with her family safe and well. I will bring you more updates in later videos when the information does come from law enforcement. Please follow along if you want truth over conspiracies and facts over fiction.